What is up, my stranger friends, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's look, I have this beautiful soft Copper Smokey Eye. If you want to see how I created this, then please keep on watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and a thumbs up if you like this video. Now I'm going to grab my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I'm going to put that over both of my eyelids to cancel out any redness and hide any veins that I might have. I also use my concealer as a primer for my eyeshadow base. Just blend it all in with my beauty blender. I find it gives the most flawless finish and the most even coverage for my concealer. And then straight on top of that concealer, I'm going to go in my Mercier translucent setting powder, and I'm going to put it all over the top to take away any of the tackiness, so our transition colour's got a nice smooth base to go onto. Next, I'm going to get my Sigma Brilliant and Spellbinding palette, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of the colour Sensational on my Sigma E35 brush. I'm going to use this colour as my transition colour, so I'm going to work it into the crease and a little bit higher as I am slightly hooded, and I've also got deep sockets. So I'm just working into the crease in circular motions, buffing upwards. Also using windscreen wiper motions to really work that colour into that outer corner. I really want to concentrate more so in the crease and on that outer corner that I have there, because with deep sockets you really want to bring that colour up a little bit higher, otherwise when you open your eyes the colour will fall back with your mobile lid and you'll no longer be able to see it. Now I'm going to go in my Maybelline Colour Tattoo in the colour Bad to the Bronze, and I'm going to use my finger to apply this. I find that you get the most opaque coverage when you use your finger, and I want to use this colour as the base for my main eyeshadow. Now I'm going to get some of my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the colour Blushed Copper, and I'm going to use just a flat synthetic brush, and I'm just going to pack that straight on top of that other colour. Now with my Sigma E35, I'm going to pick up a little bit of Makeup Geek's Creme Brulee, and I'm going to use that to help blend away any harsh lines and make it nice and cohesive. Next, I'm going to pick up a bit of Caramelised from MORPHE on my Sigma E25. Now I'm going to concentrate this on the outer corner. I really want to create a bit more depth and a bit more dimension on the outer corner. With that same Sigma E25, I'm going to get a little bit of Mocha from Makeup Geek. And now I'm going to continue doing what I was doing with Caramelised, and I want to deepen up the outer corner. I want to create more depth. And I'm just using that same brush just to blend it in a little bit higher. I need that colour to come up that little bit higher, otherwise you just still can't see it. Now for Makeup Geek's Corrupt, I've got my Zoeva 230 brush, and I'm just going to pack that in just ever so slightly at the bottom of the outer corner. I just want a little bit more depth and a bit more dimension, but still keeping it quite tight in that bottom corner. Now going in with my Max Fix Plus onto a synthetic packing brush, I'm going to get a bit more of my blush copper, and I'm going to put over the top again just to bring back the vibrancy of the blush copper. Without blending, it's kind of dulled a little bit and I want to bring it back. Back in with my Zoeva 230 brush just to help the transition of the Corrupt and the blush copper. I don't want any seams to be shown. On my cotton pad, I have a little bit of micellar water. I'm just going to clean up those edges, make them nice and straight. I always tend to go way outside the lines. And a bit of fallout with those deeper colours and the copper colours. I want to clean it all up so our base is nice and tight. Now I'm going to quickly just curl my lashes. I find that they really helps to blend in my false lashes. Now for mascara, I'm going to use my Covergirl, the super size, and I'm just going to generously coat my top lashes. Now for my lashes, I'm going to one of my all-time favourites, which are the Ardell Demi Wispies. I absolutely hate putting on false lashes. I always am way too impatient. I never let the glue set enough to get tacky, and I have issues. Yeah, lucky this is a voiceover. Me and my potty mouth. Another great tip for getting your false lashes to blend really well with your natural is to get your tweezers and squeeze them together. Winning! And now onto brows. Today I'm going to use my CHI Brow Pomade. I love this stuff. It's waterproof, it's creamy, it goes on so smooth. And for only $12, you really can't go wrong with this stuff. I absolutely love it. Don't forget to brush your eyebrows through with a spoolie just to make sure they're all nice and even. Now to clean up my eyebrows, I'm going to use my MAYBELLINE Fit Me Concealer just on a small synthetic angle brush. Really carve them out. I tend to get a little bit sloppy and go ham on the outer corner. I really want to sharpen it up. This stuff works perfectly. It's nice and thin so you don't get all cakey up under there. That's not what we want. Now onto foundation. I'm going to use my Covergirl True Blend on a flat top kabuki. I'm just going to stipple that all around the face just so I don't end up putting too much on, which I tend to do. I'm going to just buff that in. I'm not going to use this to blend it all in. I'm just going to use this brush just to get a nice even coverage and really just get it on there. Now just to correct a little bit in my inner corners, I'm going to use my Covergirl Pro Concealer in orange and just a small buffing brush. I'm just going to blend that in underneath, and then I'm just going to blend it all in again with my beauty blender just to pick up a little bit of excess, because I did go ham again and put too much, but that's okay, everything's fixable. Now for my concealer and my highlight, I'm going to use my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I'm just going to place it under my eye in a slight triangle, but an upwards motion heading towards my temple, which really gives that youthful upwards effect. I'm only doing a thin layer of concealer under my eye. I don't want it too thick because I don't want it to crease. I also don't bring it up to my waterline because I find when I'm blending it in with my beauty blender, which I'll do in a minute, it blends it up high anyway. So to set my concealer today, I'm going to use my Mercier Transfusent Setting Powder, and I'm going to use a damp beauty blender. When you're blending it in under your eyes, you want to make sure that you've got no creases under your eyes. Once you put setting powder over a crease, you'll lock in your creases. If you have any other creases, make sure you set them. I get a lot of creases on my forehead and in my smile line, so make sure you really set your smile lines because they will crease, and especially your forehead, if your forehead tends to move as much as mine does. Now for my bronzer, I'm going to use the Soleil D10 Chanel. I love this stuff, it smells beautiful. It's nice and creamy, so it goes on awesome with a damp beauty blender. I've seen so many people do it with a brush. I just don't know how they do it with a brush. I love it with a beauty blender. It just gives a nice warmth to the face, but it's still creamy, so you're not laying extra powder on top of your foundation. Now for my powder bronzer, I'm going to use my Milk Chocolate Soleil from Too Faced. I want to give a bit more definition under my jawline, so I'm using my Zoeva 109 brush to really carve out under there. I also use this brush to do my nose contour, which I find really helpful because it's already quite thin and it's a very straight brush, so you don't have to worry about being super precise and a really steady hand to get that nose contour perfectly snatched. Under my eyes, I'm going to use my banana powder from Australis and a Real Techniques fluffing brush. I noticed I saw a little bit of blue poking through, seeing as I only use a small amount of concealer, so I'm just going to correct that. I also used that same powder to clean up my nose contour and really sharpen it up. When I was 3, I come off my little push bike and fell into a motorbike that was being worked in our backyard, and I broke the bridge of my nose. So I've always been really funny about my nose, so learning how to contour my nose was a huge big win for me, and fixing that bump in the middle of my nose. Don't forget to blend out any harsh lines that you might have there. We don't want bright stripes on our face. And for blush today, I'm going to use my Peach Pop from Clinique, just on a fluffy Real Techniques brush I'm just going to blend that all in right on top of my contour, heading up towards my cheekbone. But don't bring it too close to your nose. It tends to draw down the face. And I want to be extra glowy today, so I'm going to use my NYX Illuminator in Pure Gold, and I'm just going to put that on the high points of my face. I'm just keeping it on my cheekbones more so, and bouncing it in my Beauty Blender to really melt it into the foundation. And for another highlight, I'm going to use my Champagne Pop on a Zoeva 228, because I have a feeling I want to blind someone today with my highlight. I'm also going to put a bit of highlight on the tip of my nose and on my Cupid's bow, and then I'm going to pick up my damp Beauty Blender again and blend it all in. And now for the lower waterline, I'm going to pick up a bit of Makeup Geek Mocha on my flat definer brush, the E15 from Sigma, and I'm just going to lay that all on just the lower waterline, and only bringing it in just to where the lashes end in your inner corner. Now to blend in Mocha, I'm going to use a bit of Makeup Geek's Creme Brulee on an Artiste brush, number 30. I'm just going to really buff that in. And I want to really smoke it out too. I want to pull that colour down just that little bit lower as well. I felt like it needed a bit more warmth underneath, so I've grabbed Caramelised again on that same Artiste brush, and I'm just going to pack that on and buff it out underneath. I really want to warm it up because it's feeling too cool toned down there with the Mocha. Now for my waterline, I'm going to use a NYX Wonder Pencil. I want my eyes to still be quite bright even though I've made them nice and smoky. Now to give my lower lashes a quick coat of mascara. Now to set everything, I want to use my Skindinavia Bridal Setting Spray. This stuff is kick-ass. It's amazing. It takes away all the powderiness. It puts like a second film all over your skin, and it is just stunning. For lips, I decided to go with a few choices. This one is a Revlon's Ultra HD colour in Eternal. And then I loved the Australis Velour lips in Mozambique. It is a beautiful deep rich chocolate brown. And those who love red, here is MAC's Wee Woo, which is a beautiful creamy matte. But my favourite for today's look was the Witchery lip gloss in Biscuit. So that's a complete look, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope to catch you in another one really soon. Bye!